What's up, YouTube? For tonight's video, we wait for Mime Jr. Evolution Team. Now, this Evolution Team only has 4 Pokemon for me to use. We got Mime Jr., Mr. Mime, Mime Galar, and Mr. Rime. So only 4 Pokemon, a very, very difficult team to use. Now, this was done on my Twitch stream. If you want to check me out on Twitch, link is in the description of the video, twitch.tv/PIMPNITE. Thank you so much for everyone that's come along and support the stream so far. Without further ado, let's get into these battles. Especially this video, had some absolutely amazing battles, so I really hope you enjoy them, especially this first and second one. They were crazy. Alright, this was a battle against Eevee, and we got the Cloud Watcher as the lead. So we have a Meowstic lead. I was starting to think, maybe they're going to go for maybe Screams. They got Fake Out. I thought about it for a little while during the stream, and I was thinking, you know, what should I do here? I decided to go for a Mirror Coat in the end. The other moves I got are Blizzard, and obviously we got Psychic there as well. So we got Dank Pulse there. The only thing I was a little bit worried about is I could get Flinch there. I don't get Flinch. It doesn't do a lot of damage to me, and I got to pop that Mirror Coat off really nicely. Unfortunately, the Meowstic is going to be able to live that one. Now, this was running a max special attack and max speed set. It had Focus Sash as the item too, and it was deceivingly fast too. So after using Mirror Coat, obviously going second, sometimes the opponent may think that you're kind of slow, and then you can outspeed them and get that nice easy KO at the start there. So that worked out really, really well. Also, Blizzard hitting actually, helped a lot too. All right, so we got the Corviknight coming in here. Nice shiny. I've always liked Corviknight shiny. The other move was Focus Miss as well for Steel type Pokemon. So I thought, okay, the best I can do here, obviously I'm never going to be able to take out one shot, is to go for the Blizzard, and man, it does a lot of damage here. We got an Iron Head from Corviknight, and that is going to take my Mime Galar out. But man, that was a really solid lead there, getting rid of that Meowstic and doing a heavy amount of damage to the Corviknight. So now we're going to be going to Mr. Rime. This was a bulky set, actually. We got Max Health and Max Attack, Drain Punch, Ice Shard, and Avalanche, and Zen Headbutt. So some pretty interesting moves that it actually gets there. So we're going to actually be able to lift that Iron Head, and we don't get flinched there, which is really, really nice. And now we're going to go for a boosted Avalanche, and it doesn't quite take it out. Corviknight does have a lot of defense too. So the good thing about this set is it does have access to priority. So I've got that Ice Shard stab there, which is going to be like super, super good too. Now on this team, a lot of time when I was thinking about Dynamaxing, usually it was the Pokemon that did the most damage output that I Dynamax. So it was normally maybe Mr. Rime or my Mr. Mime. Alright, so we got the Destiny coming in, which is the Flygon. So I can go for an easy Ice Shard here. I was wondering, thinking like, this is going to do a lot of damage with Adamant Nature, right? But it's a Flygon being 4 times weak to it. It doesn't have a lot of base power, but man, against Flygon, it's very, very powerful. So go for that Ice Shard there, and Flygon takes a lot of damage, almost take it out in one shot. Unfortunately, it's not going to do that. And it's going to be a special set. Go for the Bug Buzz, and Mr. Rime lives on 1 health. The merch, people, is available. Check it out in the description under the video, man. Flygon gave me that merch bug, people. So that was a crazy, crazy live there. Obviously, they expected to take me out. That extra bulk I put in health actually made Mr. Rime live that. And we're going to finish off the Flygon with the Ice Shard there. So that was absolutely insane live there. Mr. Rime, MVP of my life right now. Okay, so we've taken half their team out. I have 3 more Pokemon left. So essentially, it's an even game now. I've actually, I've really bridged that gap. So we got the Milotic coming in. There's no way I'm going to be able to take this out at all. I could go for a Zen Headbutt, but Milotic is, most definitely going to be able to outspeed me. Drain Punch is also going to be a nice way to get some health back. So I decided to go for the Drain Punch. Milotic is going to go for the Protect there. Obviously seeing what move I'm going to use. And now they've seen I'm a fully physical Mr. Rime set, if that, wasn't obvious at all. I love how Mr. Rime is sort of like slowly dancing because it's on like a low amount of health, and then when he gets more health, he's like dance sort of like picks up. I don't know what do you call that sort of dance, people. Someone that's got crazy dance moves can let me know in the comment section. All right, so Mr. Rime is going to go down, and I've officially lost half of my team, so I need to get back into this game. So we got the Mime Jr. Now this is a bulky special defense set. So we got Rest, Sleep, Talk, Classic, PIMPNITE combo, Infestation, and Toxic. So what you want to do is first you want to trap the opponent with Infestation and then go for Toxic. So interesting enough, the Milotic is going to go for Aqua Ring. So it's like, okay, that's good, but it's bad because that's going to give the Milotic a lot of recovery. And Milotic actually had Cute Charm, which is a little bit annoying too. So I'm Junior's actually going to fall in love. So that means I've got a 50% chance of attacking and a 50% chance of not attacking. So I really want to get that Toxic up before the Infestation runs out. I need to get it up against a Milotic because Milotic is very, very bulky. And I'm thinking, man, this thing's most definitely going to have Recover, right? So I know it's going to have some sort of special type move. We got a Surf here on the Mime, and Mime's actually got the max health, max special defense, and filter ability, and with the Everlight, and boy, like, look how well I tanked that. It was absolutely crazy. So getting past that infatuation and going for the toxic there, which is really, really good. So I've got that Infestation and Toxic. Usually when someone gets, a Pokemon gets Infestation, I know they said Infatuated then, with the Toxic, they're around for about 4 turns, and then they're going to go down. But unfortunately for me, this has Leftovers, and it's got Aqua Ring, so that's pretty much nearly going to buy it another 2 turns. And I was thinking, man, I really, really hope this Infestation actually doesn't run out there, because that could be bad. They could get a Recover off, or they could swap. I guess the worst thing I was thinking, if they did swap, they'd only be on a little bit of health, so I might be able to, take them out later on. So Milotic's going to go for a Protect instantly. Obviously, they're seeing what other moves that Mime Jr. has, and I'm going to get Immobilized by Love. I actually went for an Infestation that turn. Like, any more damage I could do to this Milotic was going to be good, right? Now, this Pokemon, the Mime Jr., right, out of all 4 of my Pokemon, this is the one I normally didn't Dynamax, right? Because I really couldn't do anything in Dynamax. So this is very, very good in non-Dynamax because it had status moves except for the Infestation, which it is like very, very small damage, when in Dynamax. So now we got a Ice Beam coming from the Milotic, and Milotic is obviously trying to freeze me, seeing how much damage it did to me with the Surf, and I'm going to be in love again. So that's 2 turns in love, but the good thing about this is, right, I do have the Toxic, and I got the Infestation going across Milotic. So that's the main thing I wanted to achieve. If I was like immobilized still and I hadn't got that Toxic off, I would have probably been in a bit of trouble, right? Because they would have known what my strategy was, and they would have just kept swapping out the Milotic when they see my Mime Jr. Now, this Mime Jr. set isn't very bulky on the defensive side, so any physical hits can plow through it in 1 or 2 shots maybe. So we got another Ice Beam here. The only thing I was worried about is if I didn't get like a rest off, at this point I was trying to go for the rest, they would freeze me. So thank goodness I get the rest off, and I'm going to be, fully healed again. Now, the only problem about it is going to sleep, I can still be infatuated while I'm asleep, which is a little bit annoying. So some more Leftovers recovery on the Milotic. Man, this was taking ages to take out just due to the fact that it had like those both those forms of recovery. So my Milotic's got to get hit by the Toxic once again there. Toxic is starting to do like lots and lots of damage. So I'm guessing like 1 more turn will be enough to take out the Milotic with the Toxic damage. But I was counting the Infestation turns still. I was like, man, I think Infestation is actually going to be running out of this turn, right? So as you can see there, I was just checking on the turns of Infestation. So I can go for a Sleep Talk here, and hopefully I can get an Infestation off for some extra damage. I know that it's going to be like really, really close. So Milotic's going to go for another Surf here. It doesn't do too much to me. I reckon that's about a 5-hit KO on Mime there. So Mime Jr. is very bulky. Unfortunately, I get immobilized by Love again. You'd think, right, if I went to sleep, that would cure off the infatuation, right? But it doesn't. It's super weird. So I guess you're sort of like asleep and you're still falling in love, in that dream, guys. Wink, wink. Anyway, so we're going to get some more poison damage on the Milotic, and Milotic is going to be freed of the Infestation, which is going to be super, super bad for me. I've got to go for another Sleep Talk here. They are going to stay in, so it's like they probably guess they're on low health anyway. There's not much point swapping out. They're going to go for another Surf there. I'd say it's probably a 4-hit K, maybe instead of a 5-hit K. So I'm going to get immobilized by Love, but Toxic is actually going to take out the Milotic. So I actually didn't do anything at all. I got the first 2 moves off, then I basically got 1 rest off, and I couldn't do anything for this entire matchup. The good thing about this is, right, is the Milotic is going to go down to the Toxic damage, and that Infatuation is finally going to go away. So we got 2 more Pokemon to deal with, and I've got Mime Jr. Only on a low amount of health. So out comes the Mimikyu, and Mimikyu is going to be a very, very big problem here. Now, I thought about this move for a while. Should I go for the Toxic or should I wait? I did have 1 more strategy to get around the Mimikyu because, but let's face it, Mimikyu is an extremely good Pokemon, just mainly due to Disguise. I mean, Mimikyu itself is a good Pokemon. Without Disguise, it's nowhere near as good as it would be, right? So the Disguise is going to get busted by the Infestation. I thought it was more important to bust that Disguise and then go for a status move later on. So we got some extra damage there. We got some damage from the Disguise busting as well. So almost a quarter of its health gone, which is pretty good. Now, I know obviously a inevitable ghost type move has come my way, probably a Shadow Claw, and that's going to be like way too much for my Mime Jr. to handle since it's a very defensive set. And this thing's got Sword Dance, right? So it's very, very powerful. So we got a Shadow Claw here, and Mime Jr. is going to go down. Even with the filter and everything like that, it's not going to be able to live that one. So we're down to my last Pokemon. which is the Mr. Mime. So everyone knows Mr. Mime. I was going to call this Mr. Lime, but I thought I'll just call it Mr. Mime, not one. So this is the Nasty Pot, Sweeping Set Air, Psychic Focus Miss, and Hypnosis. The reason I didn't go for Toxic earlier on was because of Hypnosis. So I'm going to go for the Hypnosis, outspeeding the Mimikyu, and it lands. That was a super, super lucky land there. Now Mimikyu is asleep, so this is going to give me a rare opportunity maybe to go for like a Nasty Plot, or just Dynamax up and go for a Psychic to get that Psychic terrain in the field. Now, I believe that they don't have Shadow Sneak. I'd say they've got Sword Dance, they've got Play Rough, Shadow Sneak, and one other move. So, sometimes you see them running Shadow Sneak and Shadow Claw, but sometimes you see them with, like, other moves, right? So, go for that Dynamax, not playing any games at all. I want to get that big damage against Mimikyu, especially now that its disguise is gone, right? So, I'm going to go into a big old Mr. Mime, and man, Mime looks absolutely cool. Like, it's green. It actually has, like, green little fingertips as well, the shine. It's a really, really cool shiny. Quite a basic color change, but it looks really good. So Mr. Lime, right, is going to put up its big Max Mindstorm on the Mimikyu, and that is going to do a lot of damage, taking out the Mimikyu, which is really great. Now, the good thing about putting the Mindstorm on the field, that's going to stop any priority too, and it's also going to power up the Psychic type moves, which is going to be very, very handy. So we've got one more Pokemon left, and I've got one more Pokemon left. I've got the Life Orb as the item as well, and their last Pokemon is Roserade. Now, if you remember, they have actually not Dynamaxed yet. So they're going to obviously Dynamax their Roserade. I quite like Roserade shiny Pokemon too. And the best move here I can go for is Psychic. It's going to be powered up by the Psychic terrain, which is going to be very good too. And I'm not sure, is this thing going to have a Focus Sash, or is it going to have like Black Sludge, Life Orb, anything like that? I was hoping it didn't have like a Focus Sash, right? Because they could go for a Poison type move. That could be very bad too. So that big old Rose is going to grow a lot. Man, imagine having a Rose that big, and it's going to get a big health boost. Now, I was very confident I could take this one out in one shot, in case, Focus Sash was pretty much the only thing I was worried about here. So go for that Max Mindstorm on the Roserade, and that is going to take it out in one shot. What a crazy, crazy first battle there. I had some absolutely brilliant luck there, living on 1 health with Mr. Rime. That was huge, that one, getting rid of that Flygon, right? Because once all my Ice-type Pokemon went, I would have got outspent and wrecked. Thank you for the battle, Eevee. If you ever watch this one on YouTube, thank you for being a good sport there. And let's get on to the second one. This one was against Copmeister. This was also done on my stream. And man, this was another crazy battle. These were definitely out of all the battles that I had with this Mime team, these ones were like the clear battles. They were so entertaining and so epic. So we got a Pikachu lead here. This was interesting. I've got my Mime Galar lead. So I was thinking, should I go for a Mirror Coat here? Is this going to fire off like a special electric type? But what if it's a physical one? I don't really know. So I thought, Pikachu's pretty, it's not exactly what you call the most bulkiest Pokemon in the world, so I went for a Blizzard here. Now, this was a max special attack and max speed set, going for that Blizzard, and it lived, look how well it lived, and then it's going to go for a Nuzzle. So this is a bulky Pikachu. I'm not joking, a bulky Pikachu. A Pikachu. So I was thinking of Pocket Monsters and Pikachu at the same time. So I can go for any Psychic sort of move here. Pikachu is going to go for a Wish there, so that's actually going to heal all of its health back if I'm unable to attack it this turn, which I'm not, and that's so unfortunate. So now Pikachu, right, can freely attack me. I was wondering what other moves that it would actually have. So it's got Nuzzle, obviously, to paralyze, and now they're going to swap out the Pikachu and go into Sudowoodo. So Sudowoodo's a Pokemon you don't see very often. Very nice to see that. So go for that Blizzard, and Blizzard lands on the Sudowoodo, does a lot of damage there, but Sudowoodo actually received that Wish, and it gets a lot of its health back. Now I was thinking, okay, I've got to go for a Focus Miss or a Blizzard here. If Focus Miss lands, Sudowoodo is going to be in a lot of trouble, right? So Sudowoodo's going to go for that, sneaky substitute there, and Focus Miss is actually going to land, man. This Mr. Mime, right, this Mime Galar actually landed so many of its moves, like Blizzard and Focus Blast. For some reason, it just landed all the time. It's like super, super lucky. Anyway, so that sub is going to go on the Sudowoodo. I can go for a Blizzard here, or I was thinking maybe, at this point, I was like, they could go for another substitute, so let's go for a Side Shot. So now we got the Sucker Punch there, almost taking me out, and I get paralyzed. That was a big paralyze there, because I could have actually taken out the Sudowoodo there, because it was on a reasonably low amount of health. So now I was like, okay, they could go for a Sucker Punch, so they mind game with a Mirror Coat. I was like, nah, let's just go for Side Shock again, and they go for Dynamic Punch, and Dynamic Punch lands. So wow, that's a crazy, it's a Sucker Punch, substitute, and Dynamic Punch. So man, poor Mime Galar is going to go down to that one, definitely. All right, so into Mr. Rime here. I got a little hop, skip, and a jump. I can go for a Drain Punch here. Now, they could go for Psycho Punch. So I was like, that's fine because I'll get my health back, right? So go for that Drain Punch on Sudowoodo. And that is going to be enough to take it out. Sudowoodo actually has really nice base defense as well. So I was sort of worried that it might live that one. Unfortunately, Sudowoodo is actually quite slow outside of those, rock polish sets. So Pikachu's still left. We got Sudowoodo down. I'm still in a big disadvantage because I've got 3 Pokemon. And he's still got 5 more Pokemon around. I mean, Pikachu is damaged though, so I might be able to take that out. So Pikachu is going to come in here. I was thinking I could go for an Avalanche here, but that's going to make me go second. Maybe I should go for a Drain Punch, get some health back, and then finish off. Then I was thinking maybe I should go for an Ice Shard, because Ice Shard would go first. I know this is a bulky Pikachu, but this would be stab, right? Pikachu isn't the most bulkiest thing out there. I was really thinking about this one for a long time. Decided to go for the Drain Punch in the end, and we got a Nuzzle from Pikachu. I knew they'd go for a Nuzzle. This Pikachu's got better base speed than me, even if it's running like a bulky set, right? So go for that Drain Punch on the Pikachu. Pikachu tanks it. Look how well it tanked it. And I can go for I guess I can go for an Ice Shard after this. So I get all my health back. I need a little bit of a drink of water here. I'm nuzzling my drink of water. So I can go for an Ice Shard here and take Pikachu out and hopefully not get paralyzed, and that is what's going to happen. And Pikachu is going to go down. But hope you guys enjoyed that one. A bulky Pikachu there. Not very, very nice to see that set being used. Wish Pikachu. I've done a Wish Raichu before, like a bulky special defense one. Actually worked pretty well. All right, speaking of amazing sets, out comes this Haxorus. So like, okay, well, I can go for an Ice Shard here against Haxorus. That'll do a lot of damage. Or I could go for an Avalanche. I decided to go for Avalanche, and Haxorus is going to be choice banned and Struggle. So Struggle does well over half my health there. And man, I actually get paralyzed on that one too. Like these paralyzed actually like really messing me up. Then I was thinking for a while, if I go for Avalanche again, Haxorus is going to be able to take me out with the Struggle choice band. Only on my channel, people. Haxorus Struggle choice band. So unfortunately for me, the Ice Shard doesn't actually take it out, and it's going to take me out with a Struggle, and Rime is going to go down. Unfortunately for me, Haxorus is going to live on 1 health. Man, I can't believe it. That's another merch bug. Okay, I'm not as sad as I was before. All right, so we're gonna go to Mr. Lime here, and we're gonna finish off the Haxorus with a Psychic. So that's half the team down. I've still got 2 more Pokemon to go though, so I've still got a pretty commanding lead. Now, Mime was actually, out of my team, probably Mr. Mime was like the most reliable Pokemon. So I can go for a Dynamax Max Mindstorm here against the Vibrava. I was sort of like wondering what set they use. So I was like, I wonder if this is like a really, really scummy set. I had something in the back of my mind, but I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I decided, I got to get rid of this Vibrator quickly. So going to big old Mr. Mime here, I can go for my Psychic move. And this is pretty powerful too. Like Mr. Mime's a fairly powerful special sweeper. Now, this actually had Soundproof as the ability rather than Filter, so I sort of tried to swap my abilities around. Oh, then Mr. Rime had Screen Cleaner as well. That actually come in handy. So, Vibrava's going to live on 1 health, merch plug again. And guess what, guys? It's going to go for the scummiest move you could possibly think of. So, getting that Psychic Terrain up, it actually ended up going for Fissure, which was crazy. So, I had a little feeling that it might go for Fissure, like, after seeing some of these scummy sets, right? So, going for Max Knuckle, I'm going to raise my attack. That's going to change the game, people getting a +1 attack. And Vibrava is going to go down. So, you got to give it to them. They had some pretty cool Pokemon so far. Pikachu, Sudowoodo, Struggle, Choice Band, Haxorus, and Vibrava. A very, very interesting team. Now, the next Pokemon we got coming out here is the Rufflet. So Rufflet can be a pretty interesting hustle set, can hit pretty hard, and if you Dynamax it right, well, that'd be really good. Sort of like using, if you use Durant, and that thing is a beast Dynamax. Like, that doesn't miss, and it has a decent attack, good speed, and it can actually boost the defense with, like, max Steel Strike. Okay, so we got a big old Rufflet here, probably the first time you guys have seen a Dynamax Rufflet, and this thing is going to hit really, really hard. So I was thinking, does it have max Airstream? It could boost its speed and end up sweeping the rest of my team. I've got to take this thing out. So go for the max Psychic again, and Rufflet is going to go down in 1 shot. So that's really good taking that out, because I'm guessing a normal type move would have come away. Maybe you can tell me in the comment section what that set was. I think you mentioned before it was sweeping with it, so I'm guessing it was a sweeping set. Alright, so the last Pokemon is the Eevee. Mr. Mime is going to go small again. Now, I know Eevee very, very well, so I was thinking, is this a choice scarf for Retaliate set or something like that? I swapped out my Mime, went into Mime Junior thinking if I could get rid of the Retaliate boost and swap it back in, that could be really good. But instead it went for a Hyper Voice. You can't believe how much I was salty about that, because my Mime actually has soundproof, and obviously they didn't know that, right? So they're going to throat spray. So it's like, okay, I'll swap it into my Mr. Mime here. I'll get the soundproof, and then I'll go for the Psychic and take it out, right? Or the Focus Blast, right? Any of those moves would be good. So go for a Shadow Ball instead of a Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice was just there to boost its special attack, and Shadow Ball is almost going to take me out. I was like, man, what is this? So the weirdnesses have like disappeared from the field, and I'm thinking, right, okay, Psychic may not take it out. If I go for Focus Miss, that's probably going to take this Eevee out. Now, I wasn't sure if the Eevee was bulky or if it was a sweeping one, so I decided to go for the Psychic over the Focus Miss, and Psychic doesn't take it out. It must have have a little bit of bulk into it, and now Eevee is going to take me out the Shadow Ball. How's that, people? How's that? I was thinking all the time, like, Retaliate, but out of the choice, it would have been so funny if I left that in, because the soundproof would have activated. The Hyper Voice wouldn't have actually worked, and the throat spray wouldn't have gone off. Anyway, so my last Pokemon here is the Mime Junior. I can go for a Infestation and just take this thing out. I'm very, very bulky on the special side. I've got Filter as well, so that's going to get powered down with the Shadow Ball. So we've got the Copycat, and it's going to go for that Copycat Shadow Ball. Interesting Eevee set there, and Mime Junior is going to eat that one up for breakfast, and that pretty much is the game there, getting that Infestation against the Eevee. But man, what two amazing battles I had with this team. Like, I thought this team would be very, very difficult to get even like just a remotely interesting battle, but these were absolutely crazy, and I hope you people enjoyed it. I've got a good bonus battle after this one, so check it out, and I'll catch you guys for some Pokemon sweeps the next couple of days. Peace.